Good morning, all. Myself, ABISHIK, followed by DONA JOYAL. I am here to present my topic, metal joining process. In metal joining process, brazing and soldering are the two major joining process are discussed in this video. Then move to the first slide. These are the contents, starting with introduction, then classification of methods, then type of equipments. Yes, then finally applications and references. Then we can move to the next slide. What is soldering? Soldering is a process in which two or more items are joined by melting and putting a filler metal into a joint. The filler metal having a lower melting point than the adjoining metal. The video shows the soldering process using a filler metal. Then classification of soldering methods. First of all, soldering iron. Soldering iron is the hand tool used in soldering. It supplies heat to melting rings that it can flow into the joint between two work pieces. A soldering iron is composed for a heating metal tip and an insulated handle. Then another method is torch soldering method. Torch soldering utilizes a fuel gas flames as the heat sources the soldering process. The fuel gas is mixed with either air or oxygen to produce the flame, which is applied to the uh, materials to be soldered until the assembly reaches the proper soldering temperature. Then we can move to the next soldering method, induction soldering method. Induction soldering method is a process in which two or more metal items are joined together by melting and flowing a filler metal into the joint interface. The filler metal has a lower melting point than the workpiece being assembled. Then and wave method. Deep soldering is the manual equivalent of automated wave soldering. The apparatus required is just a small tank containing molten solder, a PBC with the molten component fixed to the exposed metallic areas of the board. Then another method is resistance method, a specialized step-down transformer that will generate the appropriate current, a resistive material to generate the heat, ability to complete and electric current. Then another one is spray method. The spray method that our factory has used for many years has recently undergo an important upgrade that increases production stream and the guarantees. Then furnace and hot method. Furnace soldering encompasses a group of reflow soldering technique in which the part of the joining and the replaced filler metal are put in a furnace and then heated to a soldering temperature. Then another one is condensation method. In condensation, soldering is accomplished using a hot vapor. Heat transfer in condensation, soldering is up to times higher than the conventional or high mass bonds in a suitable processed atmosphere. Then last one is ultrasonic soldering. It is a flexless soldering process that uses ultrasonic energy without the need of chemicals to solder materials such as glasses, ceramics, and composites. Harder the solds metals and other sensitive components which cannot be soldered using the conventional means. Then we can move to the procedure. Here we can see a video of procedure. A small amount of soldering material is melted at the tip of the soldering iron. The soldering iron is held at the electrode surface of approximately 1 second. More soldering material is applied for this form of small circulating solder. Then a pre-soldering wire is placed on top of the circular soldering material spot and soldered together. If necessary, more soldering material is applied. This is the procedure. Then we can move to the next slide. These are the advantages and disadvantages of the soldering. First of all, advantages of soldering: simplicity and cheapness of the equipment. Then properties of base metal are not affected due to the low temperature. Then good and effective sealing in fabrication. Then low cost. Then disadvantages of soldering: the soldering joints are not suitable for high temperature because of low melting. Then joint has poor mechanical strength. These are the advantages and disadvantages of soldering. Then we can move to the applications. Applications of solderings are connecting in wireless sets, TV sets, etc. Then wiring joints in electric connections, battery and other terminals. Then drain water gutters and pipes, radiator, brass tubes of motor car. It is sometimes used to repair tensiles. These are the applications.
So the another type of metal joining process, that is brazing. It is a soldering operation using brass as the joining medium. This differs from welding because that it does not involve melting the work pieces. Here we are melting the filler metal. Here we call the filler metal usually as pelter, which flows into the closely fitted parts by capillary action. The main advantage of the brazing operation is the ability to join the same or dissimilar metals with having the highest strength. And here we use the flux, which is borax, which is required to prevent the oxides from forming which, when the metal is heated. And the liquidus temperature is above 450 degrees Celsius, whereas in soldering operation it is below 450 degrees Celsius. Next, the brazing equipments. The brazing equipment mainly comprises of blowpipe and brazing port. So this is the figure that indicates the equipment. The heat for brazing is obtained by blowpipe thread with coal gas and air at a slight pressure. When heating of the work is taking place, it is advisable to make the most of the heat given out from the blowpipe flame. For this reason, a small sheet metal hearth containing firebrick or coke should be used. If the work is placed upon a substance, heat is reflected back on it is undesirable, and this conserves the heat during the operation. So the brazing methods are classified by the use of heat source to melt the brazing metal. The methods include torch brazing, furnace brazing, induction brazing, dip brazing, resistance brazing, laser beam brazing, and electron beam brazing. So what is torch brazing? It is usually used for small production volumes, where acetylene, natural gas, and butane are combined with air or oxygen is used to supply the required heat to melt the filler rod and diffuse the base metal. The flux is used in the form of paste or powder. Next, the furnace brazing. Heat is supplied by gas or electric heating coils. Furnace can be either box type or continuous type. Preformed shape of filler metal is placed on the part to be joined before entering the furnace. Flux can be avoided if an inert atmosphere is maintained in the furnace. And the filler metal can be classified into two categories, which are copper-based pelter and silver-based pelter, followed by induction brazing. Filler metal is used in the preformed shape, where the parts are heated by placing within the field of high frequency and the induction coils are used. The eddy current is used to heat the metal and it is used for mass production. Next, the dip brazing, where the chemical dip occurs and chemical reaction occurs, where the filler metal are placed in a molten bath or flux, joining large parts. Molten metal bath process, where the assembled parts are first pre-fluxed and then immersed into a molten bath or filler metal for joining the smaller parts. Next, the resistance brazing, which is same as arc welding, which is seen in the welding process. Uh, Here we use the filler metal for joining, and the rapid heating minimizes the oxidation and heat affected zone is small. Filler metal is placed inside the joint. Next, the laser brazing and electron beam brazing, which is costly process. In laser brazing, laser beam is used to join, and beam produced by heat source to join the uh, metals, used only in precision work of high value and relating high temperature materials. So this is the YouTube link provided to watch the brazing process. From this video, we can understand the process and the procedure, how we can braze two metals. So the procedure involves the surface to be joined, thoroughly cleaned first, and then a paste made of flux and spelter is kept in the joint, and the flame is directed over the joint held on a fire brick piece, and the flux and spelter will soon melt and fill the vessels between the joints. When the joint is hot, common salt is put to soften the glossy, hard flux that sets over the joint. The work is removed from the clamp after it is cool. So we can see from this figure the flux material, welding torch is there, and the filler rod is there. So we can do the workpiece material. We can join the two metals using the jet flame. So you can watch this. Next, the advantages. Cast and wrought metals can be joined. Metallurgical properties of the base materials are not seriously disturbed. Assemblies can be brazed in a stress-free condition. Dissimilar metals can be joined. Non-metals can be joined to metals when the non-metal is coated. So the major advantage is that dissimilar metals can be joined. And the limitations involved, high degree of skill is required, limited size of parts, machining of the joint and just forgetting the desired fit is costly, joint design is somewhat limited if strength is a factor. So where we apply this brazing process, it mainly focuses on the parts of bicycles such as frames and rims, pipe joints subjected to vibrations, exposed pipes in motor engines, bandsaws, and tip tools. So these are the references. Thank you.